Hey guys, how's it going? This is the Stupendous Wave, and we started a new channel that is specifically dedicated to podcasts and a new series that is called the Rex Squad Battle Podcast, and the new channel is the Rex Squad. Please go subscribe to it. If you're interested in being in one of these battle podcasts, please message me on Skype. It's at Stupendous Wave. We just did our first little battle. It's really similar to Screen Junkies, actually. We took a lot of inspiration from them. It's an awesome channel. I'm sure you guys know movie fights. But I just fought against Anthony in this one, so...
Yes, we fought. Who is the winner? No one knows until you watch the video.
Yeah, and Michael was an awesome first-time host, so thank you, Michael.
Yep.
Anyway, just want to say that this video is uploaded on the main channel, and if you want future videos like this and Jurassic World podcasts, Star Wars podcasts, go subscribe to the Rex Squad channel. Really looking forward to it. Every other battle podcast will be on there from now on. Just kind of want to get it out there. So anyway, hope you guys enjoy.
Hello, welcome to the Rex Squad YouTube channel. We are doing the very first Rex Squad Battle podcast. We're going to have two people fighting and battling over topics that we have. We have stuff like is The Walking Dead good or bad? Most anticipated movie of 2015, best movie villain, and some others. And the loser of the battle has to tweet something of the winner's choice. And today we have Anthony Alicio.
What's up?
And the Stupendous Wave.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And I am your host, Michael. And so let's start with is The Walking Dead good or bad?
Who's starting?
Yeah, Stoops, you could start it off.
Okay, so I'm gonna argue that The Walking Dead is bad. Now, I think The Walking Dead has a really, really good potential, but I feel like it definitely suffers from extremely, extremely annoying characters. I don't like any of the characters. I feel like the only season where the characters didn't just annoy the heck out of me was season 1. I feel like we drag on, we go through things that could take maybe 1 or 2 episodes, and it turns into a whole season. And I mean, come on, you cannot argue that Beth saga was absolutely horrendous, and I hated it. And you take an awesome character later on, like Tyrese, and you just turn him into like the whiny baby of the group, and it's just completely terrible. I don't like it. I hated the last half of season 5, or the first half of season 5. I think the first 3 episodes were okay, but after that, just horrendous. Focusing on Beth, one of the least interesting characters in all of the series. Just a terrible, terrible move. It is not a good idea for us not to see our main character for 3 episodes in a row.
Now, I'd like to point out really quickly, and by quickly I mean I'm going to take a very long time, that The Walking Dead isn't the best show on TV, but it is a good TV show. I will admit that some of the characters are a little boring or a little annoying, like Lori. God, Lori is the worst, but it doesn't matter because it's still a good show. Within all the crap that is The Walking Dead, there are plenty of little gems that are worth watching the whole show. Like, just for example, Rick, Carl, Michonne, Daryl, even Glenn sometimes. There's a lot of characters that are totally awesome to watch. They're just great. You love them. You die with them when they die. Some of the newer additions, like Abraham and Eugene, are incredible. They're funny. They're just so strange, and it's this total experience where you get to live and die with all these characters. It's I say it's more of an experience than a show. And I'd like to point out that real life is sometimes pretty boring, so it's not far-fetched to say that an experience like The Walking Dead could be a little boring too.
Okay. So, do you think that Daryl really is more than a one-dimensional character? Just real quick answer.
No, he's incredibly one-dimensional, and that one dimension is badass.
No. He's one-dimensional. He's one-dimensional in every sense of the word. He's just the strong, tough guy. He has he was abused. I feel bad for him. Oh, your drink ain't gonna be no peach schnapps. What the heck was that? What a terrible episode.
It was total garbage. It was badass garbage.
What a terrible episode. Trying to get Beth a drink? Are you kidding me? That is just horrendous. That is a time waster filler episode, if ever there was one in all of The Walking Dead. And Lori, it's like, finally, that annoying woman dies. And what happens? She's a ghost. Why do we need her to hunt Rick as a ghost? That is the most absurd thing ever.
Why they have Lori appear as a ghost is to have Rick just living in this misery of losing his wife, even though his wife wasn't perfect, and he knows that she had an affair with Shane, and there was just all these problems, but he still loved her, and that's why she was a ghost, because Rick is a complex character, and when he feels sad, you feel sad.
Ah, no. You mean you felt sad when Lori died. You felt for Rick.
No, I was freaking ecstatic. I hate Lori, but I felt bad for Rick.
You felt bad for Rick because his life was getting better.
No, I feel bad for him because he lost his wife. That's a sad thing.
I don't even look at them like they're not husband and wife to me at that point. It's just like annoying person stuck with this guy who feels obligated to look after her. I hated Lori. I hated Andrea. Andrea is an annoying character, and what do? Season 3 is the Andrea show. Terrible.
I will admit that the comic book version of Andrea is much better than the TV show Andrea. But you know why they make these characters annoying? So you get
because they're bad writers.
Because
they're bad writers, and they can't write good, interesting characters.
When Andrea died, I was so happy. And it's hard to say that other shows make me that happy.
Were you supposed to feel happy when Andrea died?
That's a good point, but I will still argue that even though I might not have been, or I wasn't supposed to be happy, I was. And that is priceless.
So your argument is that when you are happy when something dies because they were so annoying, that's a good thing.
Here's basically my argument in a nutshell. When The Walking Dead is good, it's really good. And when it's bad, it's awesome to make fun of it, and it still makes me happy.
How many episodes does it take to get to one good one? How many episodes does it take to get to one good one, Anthony?
Okay, I think there's a pretty clear winner here. There was a problem with the call. Anthony dropped out of the call.
Okay, I think he's back.
Sorry about that. But I feel like the winner is going to go to Stoops, the Stupendous Wave, because I feel like Anthony was just arguing that The Walking Dead wasn't really that bad, and that there's some good episodes, but really it's there's a few good episodes in a season, and the rest of it's just filler garbage. And Stoops I really like the point that Stoops, the Stupendous Wave, made when Anthony dropped out of the call again. But I really like the point you made when you said that the Beth episodes were trash. There was just no point to them being there, and how Daryl was really one dimension. So the point goes to the Stupendous Wave.
Yay! And Anthony still dropped out of the call, so we're just gonna stall for a couple of seconds. So our next battle is gonna be which do we prefer in the MCU?
The next battle.
Go ahead.
The next battle will be Peter Parker versus Miles Morales. Who would we like to see in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? And we're still waiting for. Oh, here's Anthony.
Yeah.
Okay, so Stoops went last time. Anthony, you can go this time. Peter Parker or Miles Morales? Who would you like to see in the Marvel Universe?
I would like to see Miles Morales. The reason why I'd like to see Miles Morales is because we've seen two Peter Parkers. Both of them had flaws that were just horribly noticeable. And I also think that Miles Morales is a more interesting character. He is the Spider-Man after the other Spider-Man died. And he gets bitten by the spider. He realizes he has these incredible powers. And what he does is he kind of makes his own makeshift Spider-Man suit that looks very similar to the original Spider-Man suit. And a lot of people take offense to it. And then he ends up getting his own suit through I think it was either Mary Jane or Gwen Stacy that gave it to him. I think it was Mary Jane. But he also has a more interesting life. First off, I'd like to talk about his best friend. He doesn't have some rich Harry Osborn type character to be hanging out with. He has a little pudgy fat Chinese boy named Genki Lee. And if you've ever seen the movie Up, he's basically just like the kid from Up. I would take that any day over another lame Harry Osborn. Or any Osborn in general.
So you're saying you want a fat, annoying little kid as a sidekick in a movie because that has such a great track record.
A fat, annoying little Asian kid.
Because that has such
fat,
a
annoying
great...
little Asian kids. Tell me a little Asian kid. You want to hear a great...
No, I would compare that...
Short round
I would compare that
Jones.
if you want a fat, annoying little kid... It's like, it can be really, really good, and it can be really, really likable, or you're looking at another Jar Jar Binks.
It's not Jar Jar Binks, dude. I'm comparing him to Short Round from Indiana Jones. Who doesn't love Short Round? If you can find me one person on Earth that doesn't love Short Round, then I will do something. I don't know. But,
in the comments,
anyway,
put that you don't like Short Round.
And if you don't like Short Round, do you like him in the Goonies?
Another point I was trying to make is Miles Morales being a character that we've never seen before. You can make him, you can give him different struggles than Peter Parker because every time you get a Peter Parker story, you're going to get the same stuff. You're going to get the same beats. Uncle Ben's dead, responsibility with great power, all that garbage. Then, I have to struggle with my job at the Daily Bugle. And I also have to be Spider-Man, and life is so hard. The Green Goblin's a real ass. He's not a nice guy. It's the same stories over and over and over again. With Miles Morales, you could tell new stories. You could give him new struggles. You could give him new relationships that have never been explored in these Peter Parker centered movies. And I would like to see something a little new.
Okay. So,
Okay. Here, I got my ace in the hole right off the bat.
Alright.
Anthony, I want a yes or no answer. Was J. Jonah Jameson your favorite part of the Raimi trilogy?
God damn it. Absolutely. I'm sorry.
You're asking to cut out your favorite part of the movies. You're destroying your favorite part.
We don't.
In all fairness, J. Jonah Jameson still exists in the Miles Morales
Still exists,
universe.
but he's not a
Miles
key player.
Morales.
Not a key player.
Yeah, but we don't know if he's even going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And the only reason why that we liked him was because of J.K. Simmons.
But I'm arguing for Peter Parker, and J. Jonah Jameson is a key part of that universe.
Yeah, but also I would say that J. Jonah Jameson is a key part of a Spider-Man universe because he cares much more about Spider-Man than he ever has for Peter Parker.
Okay, I want to hear why you want Peter Parker in the Marvel universe.
Okay, number 1, J. Jonah Jameson. We already said that. Number 2, I feel like I agree with Anthony. We have not had Peter Parker on screen yet, basically. The Peter Parker is not... It's not what we've seen. He's likable. I think Tobey Maguire is actually a much better Peter Parker than Andrew Garfield, and we kind of need to wash that bad Andrew Garfield taste out of our mouth, because in my opinion, he was a fine Spider-Man, but that's not Peter Parker that I was watching. Peter Parker is such an interesting character because he's not fighting for truth and justice. He's not fighting to be good. He's fighting out of guilt. He made a mistake, and that's interesting. He held his Uncle Ben in his arms while he was dying, and I'm not saying that we need to revisit the origin. That's exactly not what I'm saying. We should just move past the origin and see this already damaged character who's so smart, build his web shooters, have to deal with being just a regular person and being a superhero. We have these Iron Man movies, and Iron Man's a genius, billionaire, playboy, philanthropist, and an adult. We have Captain America, who's an adult. We have Thor, who's an adult. I want to see someone who is a kid trying to deal with superpowers and things that are bigger than himself. I think that would be absolutely phenomenal. And I know this is praised a lot in Marvel, that the whole superhero identity thing is a big secret, but I think that could be played as a big strength, because to have a character who has to constantly be keeping his secret identity from other extremely intelligent superheroes, that's interesting on its own.
I'd like to point out that Miles Morales does have a secret identity, and he also has an abusive father, and that's good storytelling.
I'd like to point out that Peter Parker has no father, which is also interesting because it relates to a lot of people who may not have that connection. Same as Miles Morales, only it's gone completely, and he suffered the consequences of not acting accordingly as Spider-Man.
Okay. Just one quick question to help me make my decision, because it's pretty even here. Who would you choose to act in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Miles Morales or Peter Parker? What actor would you choose to play that character?
I'll let you go first, Stupendous.
Miles Teller, hands down. If any of
Miles Teller.
Miles Teller,
you would
the
like
Mr.
him,
Fantastic
you would like
Miles
him to
Teller?
play You want him to be two superheroes.
No, you asked me if I
Suggesting-
could pick any actor, and I picked the actor.
Any
You didn't
actor,
say.
okay.
You didn't say it. If any
But
of you have
I
seen
would
Whiplash, this is all I have to say. If you've seen Whiplash, you know Miles Teller would make the perfect Spider-Man. Go watch Whiplash and envision
I've seen
him
Whiplash. All of us here
swinging
have. If you haven't,
around.
if you're watching this and you haven't seen Whiplash, what are you doing? Go watch Whiplash after you finish watching this. But okay, Anthony, who would you pick?
I am going to pick the main man, the man who's already rumored to be playing Spider-Man, who can't confirm nor deny the talks going on between Marvel. I'm talking about Mr. Childish Gambino myself, Donald Glover.
So, wait, you phrased that weird, but okay. This is a hard one. I feel like I'm gonna pick Miles Morales in this one.
Dang it!
Just because he has a whole new story.
Are you picking the character or the argument?
Well, Anthony argued that he has an entire new story, and we've already kind of seen the Peter Parker thing go on quite a bit.
Yeah.
So
Who's going to be...
I'd pick. I'm gonna go with Anthony's argument with
Oh
Miles
man,
Morales.
I lost at the Miles Teller part.
No, it wasn't that. You gained a little bit more points with the Miles Teller because he was so good in Whiplash, but I just can't see him as Spider-Man, and also I don't want to see the same story again with Peter Parker. But let's move on to fight number 3. What is the most anticipated movie of 2015? We've seen plenty of trailers for big blockbusters coming out this year. We want to know, what is the most anticipated movie? Anthony went last round, so Stupendous, you can go this round.
Anthony, are you there?
I am here.
Okay, just checking. Ready to lose?
I am not ready to lose. I am a winner by definition.
Okay, we'll see. So my most anticipated movie of 2015 is Jurassic World. No question there. Jurassic World is something that we have not seen in, I believe it is 14 years. We have not visited that world in 14 years. It's so interesting. It's a working theme park. The cast looks spectacular. The director is promising. Steven Spielberg is overlooking it. He handpicked Colin. It's just looking like a magnificent film. They're bringing in nostalgia. We got the old T-Rex coming back, and we got something new. We got the Indominus Rex. We are taking a different direction on the Velociraptors. Really, really interesting. Now, regardless whether you guys like it or not, you cannot deny that it is incredibly interesting. And the Indominus Rex having this new predator that goes free, and all the new dinosaurs we're going to be able to see, the Pteranodons, the Dimorphodons, hopefully the Metriacanthosaurus, Suchomimus baryonyx. It's just, the cast is fantastic and huge from both the actor standpoint and the dinosaur standpoint.
Alright, now here is the winning argument. I'm arguing for a movie called The Cobbler, starring Adam Sandler, coming 2015. Of course, I'm not arguing that movie. I am arguing, of course, for Avengers Age of Ultron. There is nothing wrong with this movie, and nor will there be anything wrong with this movie. Stoops was talking about new dinosaurs that they're adding. How about new superheroes and new supervillains? Where we have Scarlet Witch, we have Quicksilver, we have the Vision joining the superheroes. New villains? Talk about Baron von Strucker, talk about Ulysses Claw, and hell, talk about Ultron and all the Ultron bots. So there's a lot of new stuff you got there. Killer cast? What about Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, what's Thor's name?
Chris Hemsworth.
Chris Hemsworth.
He lost points. He doesn't know the names.
Bader, Samuel L. Jackson, Scarlett Johansson, Paul Bettany. The list goes on and on and on. Jeremy Renner, I forgot him because everyone forgets Hawkeye, but that's okay. He's still pretty good. The point I am trying to make is Avengers will not be a great movie. It will not be an excellent movie. It will be a superior movie. It's the movie we all deserve. And it's the movie we all need for the summer. It's perfection. It is amazing. There you go.
Hey, Anthony, I have a question for you. How many years ago did we get the first Avengers movie?
I'd like to point out that the reason we have
Anthony, how many years ago did we get the first Avengers movie?
What, 3 years ago? But that's fine.
And when was the last Marvel movie? When was the last Marvel movie? When was the last Marvel movie?
A couple months ago, in August.
Old news. Jurassic World is new. It's fresh. 14 years since we visited this world. And what? We've been in the Marvel Universe a couple months ago. This is new. This is fresh. Am I allowed to argue, Michael? Michael, am I allowed to argue?
Yeah, Anthony, you will have your turn to argue against what he's about to say.
Okay, I will calm down. I apologize.
It's going to be amazing. There's a huge death toll that's coming up. You can just feel it. The action in the trailers looks spectacular. The effects, animatronics. Oh my gosh, they brought the animatronics back. It's going to be fantastic. Can you just imagine the sweeping shots of the Pteranodons and the Dimorphodons diving in on the people and the Mosasaur? It looks fantastic. And when you see Jurassic World and you see the Jurassic World trailer, you immediately want to visit that park. You see, wow, This is the place of my dreams. This is the place Hammond created. And we can immerse ourselves and we can go to Jurassic World. And it is new, fresh. We got a whole new cast of dinosaurs. We get to try out something new with the Indominus Rex. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal.
Okay, so from what I understand, from your point, your argument is garbage. Here's what I'm saying. We haven't had a Jurassic Park movie in a long time because we had one really good one that was, I'll say it, it was amazing. It's a great movie. And then we had two pretty lame ones. Jurassic Park 2 and 3 are just not good movies. And you're talking about things in the trailer that I don't think were very good. You mentioned the animatronics. There was only one animatronic that I could recall from the trailer, and what did it look like? It was total garbage. It looked like a robot wearing a leather jacket.
I would like to point out that we have gotten various tweets of Velociraptor animatronics that look spectacular, and the Indominus Rex has an animatronic as well.
But will you at least admit that the animatronic dinosaur in the trailer, whatever it's called, I'm not very familiar with dinosaurs.
Apatosaurus.
It looked like total garbage, right?
I disagree. I liked it.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You mentioned action in Jurassic World. May I remind you of the scenes we've been getting in these trailers of the Hulkbuster going toe-to-toe?
We've seen people punch each other before. We've never seen on as large a scale as this, dinosaurs scrapping. Every Marvel movie, we get different superheroes punching each other. It's old news. We got dinosaurs scrapping and fighting. If I could promise you anything,
Avengers Age of Ultron will have scale. It will be the biggest Marvel movie there has ever been. It'll have more Ultron bots. I believe it was confirmed that there's going to be over 5 times as many Ultron bots as there were Chitauri in the first Avengers movie. This is a scale movie. This is a worldwide epidemic in Avengers 2, and I believe it will be the better movie.
It's old news. There's nothing new. Hey, we got the Avengers. They're coming back. What else? We have a functioning theme park with dinosaurs. And you talk about scale. Can you tell me that there's anything that remotely comes close to a scrap between the tyrant lizard king himself and the fierce and untamable king? Nothing.
What about the Hulkbuster and the Hulk? Like I just said, I would rather see that fight any day. And when you say that this Avengers universe is old news, I'd like to point out this Avengers universe started in 2008 with Iron Man, and it has been the most popular movie sensation of the past century, I would even say. They've only had 10 movies, and they've made over $7 billion. So you say old news, I say new news. I say craze.
You just said that we've had movies since 2008. That's the point. We need something new, and that is why Jurassic World is more exciting. It's something we have never, ever seen before. Age of Ultron, while it could be, we have never seen a functioning Jurassic World theme park. We have seen the Avengers come together. We've seen them fight against an army. And the repetition. All the Avengers, they're going to come together again. And they're going to fight against one big guy and a whole bunch of bots. Doesn't that seem a little familiar to you? Oh yeah, it's called The Avengers 2012.
I'd also like to point out that this movie is going to set up even larger movies such as Captain America 3 Civil War.
Irrelevant. You're arguing for Avengers Age of Ultron, nothing else.
Are you saying that the division between two of these leaders of this group of heroes that constantly have to save the world is irrelevant? No.
I'm saying that you have to argue...
We're not battling for this, Anthony.
I'm saying you have to battle for a specific film, not the sequels that come up.
You're not battling for franchise.
Okay. I'd also like to make 2 points.
You lost. You lost.
When it comes to any Marvel movie, it is a battle of a franchise because the Marvel franchise is unique.
You
for
can't
being
bring
an
up the
amazing
franchise card. You're
I also
arguing
like to
for
point
one
out-
movie, Anthony.
Don't worry,
One more time.
I'm not counting the Stoops.
You don't have to count it. I would just like to have that out there. And I have one more point. If this is most anticipated movie of 2015, which one do you think is going to make the most in the box office?
Jurassic
I can
World. We have
guarantee
not
you-
visited that place for 14 years, and it's a completely new spin. And on the other hand, you have a redo.
I'm not saying Jurassic World isn't going to make money, but I could guarantee you Avengers Age of Ultron makes over $1.5 billion in box office, and I could also guarantee you that Jurassic World will not break $1 billion.
He cannot guarantee box office revenue in the fight.
You cannot guarantee that. Alright, one quick thing.
Okay, I will bet it.
I
Okay,
won,
one
Michael.
quick thing, because this battle has been going on for a while. Come up with a tagline for your movies.
Would you like to go first?
Bigger, badder, more teeth, the Indominus Rex.
Ooh, that was pretty good. Anthony, do you have one?
Yeah. It's called, oh my god, this movie's gonna be the best friggin' movie you'll ever see.
That's the
Watch
worst
the Avengers
tagline I've
fight
ever
Ultron to
heard.
death.
Do
This
you know what
movie's gonna be so friggin' good.
Alright, do you have a
That's all
serious
they need.
tagline? You do know what a tagline is, right? This is what's under the title on the poster.
Oh, okay. Avengers. Age of Ultron.
Okay,
It's Avengers Age of Ultron. Avengers Age of Ultron.
That's all you need. The title says it all.
okay, well, I'm gonna have to give this one to the Stupendous Wave because you didn't come up with a tagline. You guys were really close there towards the end when I really liked how when Stupendous was talking about the T-Rex versus the Diabolus Rex, or Indominus Rex is what they're calling it now, which I still don't like, but then Anthony came back with the Hulk versus the Hulkbuster, so it was leaning both ways, but I had to go with Jurassic World. So right now we're at 2 points for the Stupendous Wave, 1 point for Anthony.
Now that the fight's over, I just want to say I thought for sure I was getting my butt kicked halfway through.
That's fine. I didn't want to come up with some lame tagline. Like, what was I going to say? The team has met their match?
Avengers Age of Ultron, we build our own
That's
demise.
so lame. They already have taglines.
It's
like,
better
there are
than
no strings
Avengers
on-
Age of Ultron, Avengers Age of Ultron.
Just
I like that. I would make my own poster.
for the record, both of you are wrong, and the most anticipated movie is going to be Star Wars, but we'll move on. So this fight is
I don't think that made any sense.
Yeah.
Hey, you're both wrong. Star Wars is going to be better than both of those movies. Doesn't matter.
Alright, whatever.
The next fight we have is
Is this the last fight?
no. We have
Next.
2 more after this.
Oh shoot,
And
I
then I
can't
have-
read. Okay,
I
sorry.
have a couple tiebreakers, just in case. Our next fight is Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man versus The Amazing Spider-Man 1, not the sequel. Sequel doesn't. No one cares about that one. It's doo-doo. Versus Spider-Man 3. Both not great movies.
It's doo-doo.
We're gonna start this fight with who went first last round? Stoops?
I went first last
Yeah.
time.
Anthony, you're gonna start.
I will start. Now, yet again, I'm going to have to make a similar argument to The Walking Dead, but not super similar. Or similar, not similar. My bad. Spider-Man 3 isn't a great movie. It's not even necessarily...
Well, neither of them are great movies.
It's got its flaws, but Spider-Man 3 gets way too much hate. The point I'm trying to make is Spider-Man 3 has a lot going for it, and it's got more moments that are definitely gems in the whole franchise that you could pick out of it. Yes, we have the emo Peter Parker that dances around the street. You know, that's a problem. Yes, Venom was totally horrible casting. Topher Grace shouldn't have been Venom, but still. It had great nuggets. The action scenes were incredible. I argue that in Spider-Man 3, the first fight scene between him and James Franco as the Goblin is better than any scene in the entire Amazing Spider-Man franchise. Also, the whole origin with Sandman. Sandman is a decent villain. He has a great origin. He figures out how to harness his ability to turn back into a person just by looking at a picture of his daughter and wanting to just grab that little locket. He figures out how to become a person again. And then it has a great ending where Peter finally forgives his uncle's murderer for, when he finally understands what actually happened. It has tons of stuff going for it. I would like to point out, in The Amazing Spider-Man, there is a villain who is underdeveloped. His only motivation is he's missing an arm, and he's a complete moron.
Alright, don't talk about The Amazing Spider-Man until Stoops. But
you just brought up underdeveloped villains? You just spelled your own doom, my friend.
I'd like to point out that I would say the Lizard is just as bad as any villain in Spider-Man 3.
No, the Lizard you feel with, he wants so bad to have his arm back that he will do anything for it. He will fight for it, he will kill for it, and it's like, oh, he wants to make everyone's lizards. No, his intentions are noble. He wants to make everyone the best that they can be. And everyone wants to be the best that they can be. He just wants to help them along.
The best that you can be isn't a lizard.
Yeah, but yes, I disagree. I disagree because he.
You disagree that.
I disagree. Objection, Michael. Objection.
Okay, talk.
I think. Damn it! You made me lose my train of thought.
That was the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, he wants people to be the best that he can be. I give up. I lost. I lost already.
Wow.
I lost.
Are you Amazing Spider-Man? You really could have gone out there.
I know I could have. No, I don't. Disregard. I didn't lose.
Okay.
Keep going.
In the Amazing
Tobey
Spider-Man,
Maguire's cry face.
Yeah, you know what? He
that
has
is
a weird
terrible.
cry face.
You have a character that cries so much. That is like, oh no, not good.
Oh no! How dare anybody cry?
No, to have a character that is such a whiny baby, it gets annoying. Again, with the annoying characters, there's not an annoying character in The Amazing Spider-Man. Spider-Man 3 had incredibly annoying characters. No way is he annoying. You connect with him.
Flash Thompson was annoying.
Michael, you better disregard that I said that I lost, because now I'm on a roll. Okay, next.
I forgot that. This never happened.
Mary Jane is the worst character. Mary Jane's in Spider-Man 3 is the worst character in any of the Spider-Man movies, period.
Okay, let me break this down for you. Uncle Ben in The Amazing Spider-Man is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. He is super lame. He can't get the words "with great power, with great responsibility" comes out, because they did it so well in the Sam Raimi trilogy.
I disagree. He's like if you have something that you can do, you have a moral obligation to do that thing. You have a responsibility.
The entire time he said
you have a responsibility. Also, he totally got it across. He got it across.
He was in the middle of a sidewalk when a guy robbed a little gas station or something, or a little grocery store, and the guy walks out with the gun, and Uncle Ben's like, oh no, I gotta get this gun away from this guy.
He was going after his nephew, and he wanted to protect his nephew. He figured the gunman was close to his nephew. He figured the gunman was close to his nephew, and that there were innocent people around, and he was doing the noble thing. And what the heck is up? What the heck is up with Flint Marko killing Uncle Ben? Is like, oh my gosh, can we not get our origin straight? You get a straight up origin. You get a straight up origin in The Amazing Spider-Man. You get a straight up origin, and
okay, one at a time.
One at a time.
You guys are both yelling over each other.
I'd like to point out another thing where you said that Tobey Maguire has an annoying cry. Do you remember when Uncle Ben died in The Amazing Spider-Man? I'm going to do an impression
Yeah, I
of
cried my
Andrew
eyes out.
Garfield crying.
No, how about you don't do an impression?
How about this? It sounded like this. That's my impression.
Okay,
The point
here's
is,
Venom.
The Amazing Spider-Man
Venom, one of the
is-
most popular characters ever, completely crapped on. Thrown
Yeah,
in
he
at
was
the
crapped
very
on.
last second.
but it's
Terrible.
still better. It's still better than The Amazing Spider-Man.
No, you take Venom, one of the most popular characters. He's been set up with the black suit, and that's just another thing. Spider-Man 3 is one of the most crowded movies I've ever seen. You've got Peter's proposal. You got Gwen Stacy drama. You got the black suit. You got you got Harry. You have Sandman. You have Eddie Brock. Oh my gosh, that is just so crammed full. It's absurd.
Spider-Man 3 is a movie about revenge and how it takes the worst of people and it brings it to light. And that you have to learn forgiveness. That's why all those storylines are there. Yes, it's a bit crowded, but it's still better than this rehashed piece of trash called The Amazing Spider-Man with a lame villain, with a lame story arc that's already been told, and it's just the most unnecessary movie that's ever been made.
What about the terrible, terrible scene with Peter Parker dancing? Can you name one scene in The Amazing Spider-Man that is worse than that? And also, boom, ace in the hole, best Stan Lee cameo we have ever had.
Okay, you ready? One, I would argue that it isn't the best Stan Lee cameo ever, but also I'd argue that doesn't make it a better movie. Crane Dad. Crane Dad is the worst thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. It's the dumbest, most unthought out thing I have ever seen in a movie, where he saves a kid, and then that dad is like, "Thank you, Spider-Man, I love you, Spider-Man." And then later, when Spider-Man has to get to Oscorp, Crane Dad just calls like 50 of his Crane buddies, and they're like, "Yo, Crane guys, we need to help Spider-Man. Everybody get to your cranes, and we're gonna give Spider-Man a path to get to Oscorp with our cranes." And then you see the Crane Dad looking at Spider-Man and like nodding to him, like, "You saved my kid. Now I'm gonna save these cranes to save you," or something. And then he swings to Oscorp. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in my life, and I will argue that is worse than the dancing Peter Parker. Dancing Peter Parker.
No way.
It makes you laugh.
And
it's not supposed
Aunt
to be
May
serious.
spells out the doom
is.
of Peter in the very first scene, or one of the first scenes. She spells it out. She's like, "Don't rush into something you're not prepared for." She makes him extremely, extremely paranoid, which leads to his downfall. One of the characters that is supposed to be the closest to Peter Parker completely goes and just destroys him. If you guys watch that again, you can see Aunt May really sets up Peter for complete and utter failure. And that is a poorly written character. And
I'd like to point out that I watched Spider-Man
the characters in Spider-Man 3 are so poorly written. And in The Amazing Spider-Man, I think they're written fairly well. We understand Peter Parker. He is a brave kid. He goes in and he stands up for that kid that is being bullied. He has to learn that just because you have the power doesn't mean you use the power. You have to think. And also, Mary Jane is terrible. As I said earlier, we have the best romantic subplot in a Spider-Man movie that we've ever had. Can you agree with that? That Gwen Stacy is 10 times better.
But it's unnecessary, and it makes the movie
I disagree.
a little more
We have to give our and it sets up The Amazing Spider-Man 2 perfectly. I'm not saying it paid off perfectly, but it set it.
Don't even mention that.
But it set it up well. I didn't say it executed it well. I said it set it up well.
It set it up for failure.
No, it did not.
I'd like to point out that at least Spider-Man 3 finished its storylines. In The Amazing Spider-Man, he goes chasing after the guy who killed his uncle, and then they completely drop it in like the first half
Because
hour.
bigger things came up. He had to worry about the lizard. That's
what
why.
called?
It makes sense. He dropped it because bigger things came up.
It's called bad storytelling. It's called being forgetful and not caring about
bad storytelling. How about it's like, oh, you okay, buddy? Oh, now I'm a good guy because this stupid butler just barely decided to tell me what happened. That butler killed people, basically. It took him, what is the events of that? Maybe a year between Spider-Man 1 and Spider-Man 2? Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man 3. I'm pretty sure it's less than that, but still, this stupid butler didn't open his mouth till then? Really?
Let me tell you, if I was a butler and I saw the person that I was serving was a supervillain who had a glider and killed tons of people, I'd keep my mouth shut too.
You wouldn't tell them that, hey, I cleaned your father's wounds. They came from his own glider. Spider-Man did not do that. The butler killed people. The butler is an idiot. That is a poorly written scene. That is a poorly written character.
I would say, yeah, you're kind of right about that.
End it right there, Michael.
Okay.
I didn't say this movie was perfect. I'm just saying it's better.
Okay.
I totally made a comeback. I totally made a comeback.
Scene in both of your movies.
What did you say?
The best scene in both of your movies. What is your favorite or best or the most fun scene?
Oh, the Stan Lee.
There is a great scene in the
Stan Lee cameo was great.
So like the fight in the school.
Yes, the fight when they were. It's Stan Lee's got the headphones on. He's listening to the classical music. The lizard throws that table at Stan Lee, and Spider-Man just webs it and throws it back, and it's completely silent. Brilliant. Stan Lee just walks out. What a great cameo. The best.
The best scene in that movie is a Stan Lee cameo. That means the movie isn't that good. I'd like to point out that the best scene in Spider-Man 3 is the origin scene when Sandman first becomes the Sandman, but he has no idea what's happened to him. He's a pile of sand, and it's so weird to say, but he's trying to, get up and stand up. He has no idea what's going on, and then he sees that picture and that little locket he has of his sick daughter, and he tries to find the strength just to look at a picture of his daughter that he loves so much. I'd say that scene is better than any scene in the entire Amazing Spider-Man
His daughter
franchise.
that he loves so much that he had one conversation with.
Well, he's a criminal. He's on the run.
One conversation with this girl that he's supposed to love with all his heart.
And the CGI was amazing.
CGI was good in mine too. Better, I would argue.
It wasn't that good. It was really rubbery. You could totally tell.
No.
I feel like the CGI in 3 was a little bit better, but it doesn't matter. We were arguing over CGI. Both of these movies were terrible. We all know that. I feel like Anthony won this one.
Yeah, I feel like he won
with the
too.
Sandman thing.
He won.
Also, Crane Dad was a little bit kind of an idiot.
Yeah, Crane Dad, Crane friends, Crane guys, Crane Dad.
So, Anthony won that one. So the score right now is all tied up. Stupendous with 2, Anthony with 2. We have 2 more fights. There could be a tie. I don't know.
I also want to point out that I made a great comeback.
You did have a comeback.
That was a pretty good comeback, I will admit.
Comeback of the century. So our next fight is best movie villain of all time.
Oh, I got this in the bag.
Okay.
Go ahead, Anthony.
I hope that confidence will pay off.
You start first.
Yeah, you start first. Stupendous.
I don't know. Maybe the best performance by an actor that we've ever seen, ever. Maybe that. Heath Ledger, The Dark Knight. Oh my gosh. So phenomenal. Oscar winning. Just Fantastic. Makes me cry. The best performance or in the best scene in any movie I have ever seen is the interrogation scene in The Dark Knight. You totally buy Heath Ledger is crazy, and he's one of the few characters that you can ever buy is completely insane. And at the same time, he makes sense, which means that he is such a great character that he makes you question whether you are truly dark inside or not. He makes you think, wow, this guy's talking some sense. And, oh my gosh, he's completely crazy, but I really agree with him. No other villain is like that. You do not relate with another villain so closely that you want to love them so much, but at the same time, you are absolutely terrified of them.
Okay, Anthony?
I'm gonna say the Heath Ledger's villain, the Joker, is the best comic book villain we've ever seen. There's no question about it. But is he the best villain of all time? I say no. The best villain of all cinematic history is clearly Darth Vader. Darth Vader is terrifying. You see his blank face, and it's like the most terrifying, most powerful, intimidating look you could ever see. The things he's capable of doing, destroying planets. He's incredibly powerful. He is.
We're not talking about powers. We're talking about best villain.
Yeah. Am I allowed to finish my debate here?
No.
His voice is so commanding. He is quotable. I'd argue more quotable than the Joker. Like, insane, but that's because you've seen that movie 400 times. But most people could quote Darth Vader much more. You do not are the dark side. I hope I didn't botch that quote just now. I feel like I might have. I find your lack of faith disturbing. There's just infinite amount of quotes. Also, he is the villain of the best trilogy ever made. The Joker is a one-time villain. He is great as the one-time villain, but he's never going to be as iconic as Darth Vader. There's no Joker spin-offs where there's any Joker storylines. That Joker was a one-and-done thing. He is iconic, but he will never reach legendary status like Darth Vader has and will always stay.
I'm about to shoot you an extremely low blow. Darth Vader was ruined in the prequels.
Okay, the prequels don't count. No
That's not fair. Same character, Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader, same character.
Okay, the prequels never happened.
That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Anakin and Darth Vader, same character.
That's a really low blow.
We do not.
Yeah, that is an extremely low blow, and I'm gonna win with that low blow.
We do not talk about the prequels here. This is a place of tranquility.
Well, I don't know if I'd count that because Anakin Skywalker isn't Darth Vader.
He totally is.
You know, he turns to Darth Vader at the very end of the third one for one shot.
Michael, is it the same person?
I wouldn't say that. Well, it's like.
Michael, do they have the same body and the same mind?
Yeah, but they're not the same. They're not the same character.
They are totally the same character. This is absurd. This is absurd. They're totally the same character.
When the Green Goblin's not in suit, he's not the Green Goblin.
Yeah, he totally is.
No, he's not. He's just, what's his face? Osborn.
I am Iron Man. The suit and I are one. Are you just saying that Iron Man without the suit is just Tony Stark?
I'd like to point out that Green Goblin thing I do not agree with. But we do not speak of the prequels. We can't do anything about the prequels. They happened. We need to forget about them.
You just mad because I won real quick. You just mad.
The whole Anakin thing isn't. He hasn't turned into Darth Vader yet, so I can't really count that. That's
Also,
Darth Vader.
That's kind of a good point. That's kind of a good point. Okay, let's move past it. Let's move past it. I'm just saying, if you were considering them the same character, I would have just won.
Yeah, but they're not the same character at all.
Fine, here we go. Let's do this. You said, and I quote, Darth Vader is the most terrifying villain. He is so large. The Joker holding a knife in someone's mouth, saying, "Why so serious?" And then he tells this whole story, and you're like, wow, that story seemed a little bit forced. And you know what? It's not. It was complete crap. And when he holds the knife into someone's face, and he's like, "Why so serious?" And you have that implied torture scene, there is no scene where Darth Vader is as intimidating as the Joker. And he's like, "Are you the real Batman?" I know, terrible Joker impression. It's like, "No." Well, then why do you dress up like him? Like,
I'd like to point out that, yeah, a knife in the mouth is terrifying. Well, I could probably recover from that stab wound. You know what I'm not going to recover from? Darth Vader crushing my entire body with his mind alone, or slicing me in half with his lightsaber, which can pierce any material.
the Joker, say what you will about Darth Vader being cool, he is third in command. Third. Joker answers to no one. You got Darth Vader, Grand Moff Tarkin, the Emperor. The Joker answers to no one. He is a rabid dog. When you try to leash a rabid dog, you get bit. Vader is a leashed dog.
When, did Darth Vader take any commands? Did anyone tell him to kill the Emperor? Did the Emperor instruct him to kill him?
The Emperor instructed him through the whole career. Through his whole career.
So,
Go here, do this. The Emperor
Vader
demands you to do this.
in command?
The Emperor commands you to do this. The Emperor commands you to do that. We must turn him to the dark side. I'm in charge. He's like, put him down, Vader. And I would also like to point out, Darth Vader never destroyed Alderaan. Grand Moff Tarkin did.
That is true, but he had the power.
Irrelevant. He didn't act on it.
He has the power.
He's not crazy enough to act on it. The Joker would destroy everything and everyone. He doesn't care if he dies. He gets dropped by Batman and he just laughs. He laughs his way. And another thing is he is so funny. So funny that you feel sick inside when you laugh at him.
Okay. This was a crazy fight. This is a tough one.
No way. No way.
This is a tough one.
No way.
I feel like I have to give it to Anthony.
No, bias. You bias. You bias.
No bias.
I totally won. I totally
really
won.
wish that Heath Ledger wouldn't have died, because then the third one would have been good instead of doo-doo at the end. But
That's such
I feel
bullcrap. I totally won.
We've had plenty of Jokers. We're only gonna ever have one Darth Vader.
That's a great point.
Joker has only appeared in 2 movies. And I am arguing specifically for the Heath Ledger Joker.
Yeah,
The Heath Ledger Joker is my only Joker.
Darth Vader's more iconic.
I would also like to point out that he never once took one of my arguments and turned it against me.
Yeah, I can't argue against Joker. He's great, but he's not the best.
And I attacked your character directly. You just gave points why Darth Vader is awesome. You never went after my character.
Darth Vader is better.
Doesn't matter. Darth Vader wins.
No, Michael, you crazy. You crazy. Alicio bias. Alicio bias.
Darth Vader wins. If they were in a fight, who would win?
That's not what the fight was about.
I know.
Say the real winner.
Anthony is in the lead.
Say the real winner, Michael. Say the real winner.
Anthony is the winner.
You know I won. You totally know I won.
Dude,
You have a chance to make it
by
up.
the rule. By the way, there is no Alicio bias. Me and my brother hate each other.
True.
Alicio biased.
No, it's all good. Alright, next battle.
I'm
Are you
still
ready?
raw after that. That's
Yes.
bullcrap.
Okay, we'll use that anger to fuel your next battle.
I'm gonna win.
So, Anthony's in the lead by 1. Stoops, you have to win this to tie.
Yeah, no crap,
and then
Sherlock.
we'll go to a tiebreaker round.
I'm gonna do this.
Best Godzilla monster. Anthony, you can go first.
Alright, I'd like to make the point that this argument isn't so much best Godzilla monster, it's best Godzilla monster that we want to see in the movie.
Yeah, that's what the argument was.
Yeah.
Really?
I'd like,
Best Godzilla monster that we'd like to see in a legendary movie.
I am picking Mechagodzilla. The reason why I'm picking Mechagodzilla is because this Godzilla franchise isn't going to last forever. It's going to be this franchise where it's like, oh, here's Godzilla, he's such a fierce monster, such a force of nature. And then, he's going to fight these other big monsters and cities are going to be destroyed. That's about all I imagine we're going to get with this franchise. I'm sure it'll be a little different from what I described, but not much changing. So I am proposing a Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover. Godzilla never dies in this trilogy of Godzilla movies. And when this trilogy is over, sometime in the Pacific Rim future, one of these kaijus is so crazy that it conjures up Godzilla, and then Godzilla kills the kaiju, but now we gotta worry about Godzilla, because Godzilla's gone on some crazy mind-controlled rampage started by the kaiju. So what do? They scrap all their Jaegers, and they build one super Jaeger called Mechagodzilla. I changed his origin a little bit, but I think this is something we'd all like to see.
Okay. Stupendous. What is your monster in your movie?
Can I attack him first?
You can attack me all you like.
Just state your movie first so we know what's going on, and then you can attack.
I want Destroya.
Okay, Destroya.
What
Give
you
everybody
just
a little backstory on who he is, because I'm sure not everyone will know.
basically, he's a bunch of these crustaceans that are formed together with G cells, and he grows and evolves into large crab-like things, and then they all form into one giant devil-looking monster, which, in my humble opinion, is Godzilla's toughest enemy. And I know that's going to make a lot of people mad, but that's just my opinion. Okay, here we go. What you just... Oh my gosh. A Pacific Rim Godzilla crossover. First off, the color palettes and the tones in those movies are completely different. Completely. So, it's like a whole new universe. It's like you disregard Godzilla and then you disregard Pacific Rim and now you got this new thing. And that makes no sense because it's not the Godzilla we had and it's not the Pacific Rim we had.
Here's the thing.
Hey, I just started.
Okay, I'll back off. Just be ready to be destroyed.
That is like...
Was that fun?
That is like...
Yep.
That is like having the Lego movie mixed with the Dark Knight. The tones are different.
So giant monsters.
The Pacific Rim.
Oh, okay.
The Pacific Rim tone is so much more lighthearted. The Godzilla tone is depressing. You feel down. You feel like all is lost, and that is two tones completely contradict each other. Will not mesh at all. Now, time to start with my own monster. You basically just pitched a crossover. You didn't pitch your monster. You pitched a crossover. So, good job with your first argument. Sorry. Destroya is made up of pieces of Godzilla. They are connected in a way. No, I take it back. He's not made up of G cells. He's made up of the oxygen destroyer. I'm sorry about that. So the only thing that has ever been able to kill Godzilla in that universe is the oxygen destroyer. And to have a monster specifically built up of the thing that has killed Godzilla in the past, that's perfect. Destroya is huge. He's durable. His design is amazing. You look at him and you can see him in a Legendary movie. He is so crazy. He fits in this universe that Legendary has set up to a T. He is the yin. No, Godzilla is the yin to Destroya's yang. They go against each other. They hate each other. Destroya destroys everything in sight. It is an extremely large kaiju. He is the devil incarnate of the Godzilla universe, and he is, in my opinion, the toughest monster Godzilla has ever faced. No other monster has taken more red spiral rays than Destroya. You would feel the fear creep through you. Godzilla might die, because Destroya did succeed in killing Godzilla Jr., and he withstood Godzilla's red spiral beam. Destroya for the win.
Okay, the point I'd like to make is that in my crossover, I would consider, and I think most people would consider, Mechagodzilla to be a Godzilla enemy and a monster. He is a monster made by man. Another point I'd like to point out is that I'm not going to try to fuse, well, I'm not making the movie, but I'm not saying it should fuse color palettes and tones. I'm saying take the Godzilla monster, put it in the Pacific Rim universe, and have it in that Pacific Rim tone, in that same color palette, because Pacific Rim is in the future, and it's going to be like that. That's how you make it so, oh, this was this way and this was this way. Because this was in the past, this was in the future.
I really feel like you're arguing for a crossover, not your monster, Anthony.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Your argument for your monster is like, oh, you know what I want? I want Godzilla to fight an even stronger monster, because Godzilla is going to fight 3 monsters before my monster.
That is the yang and the most intimidating, vicious creature you have ever seen.
By the time this happens, or would happen, watching Godzilla just fighting vicious monsters will be boring, because it's going to be happening so often.
Not a vicious monster, the exact opposite. Something where you feel the fear. You feel for sure that he could die at any moment. I've failed to see you argue for Mechagodzilla. You're just going with the Pacific Rim crossover, and they don't mesh. The two universes that have been set up don't mesh. You really think the realistic? You think the realistic universe?
Take Godzilla and put him in the Pacific Rim universe. I don't know about you, but when I go see a movie, I don't go to see a movie to be depressed and just kind of be really bored and everything's lame. I go there to have a fun time. And I think Godzilla is the type of monster that could deliver that fun time, but not when he's in this dour, horribly sad universe. When you watch the Toho Godzilla movies, those are a fun time.
I think which ones? Which series?
I'm not going into detail because I'm not very familiar. I just seen some of the movies.
I'm good. The Toho movies have some extremely dark moments, so that argument is invalid. Jr.? Yes, in fact, watching Godzilla melt down and die in Godzilla vs. Destroya, may I add, watching him melt down and die, watching your childhood hero burn, have him implode from the inside out, and have this terrible, sad music playing. The Toho Godzilla movies, the Showa era, may have been cheesy and fun and lighthearted, but the Heisei and a good majority of the Millennium movies are very, very serious in tone.
I was going to say, can you guys hear me? I can't hear you guys.
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you.
We hear you.
We hear you. Okay, we're stalling.
Alright, okay, I can hear. Wasn't there a time where Junior Godzilla laughed so hard or burped so hard that he flew backwards?
That's from the Showa.
Okay, exactly. My point is your argument is invalid because those movies are stupid. But
Okay.
I totally feel like He did not argue for his monster at all, Michael.
Clear winner. This is a very clear winner. It's obviously Mechagodzilla. No, I'm just kidding. It's Destroya. Destroya with
you guys.
Anthony, you totally
You
just...
won?
I won.
Did I win? Oh, you won? Okay.
You lost. Of course you lost.
It was like, what monster do you want?
So much more badass than Mechagodzilla.
And not only that, it's like, which monster do you want? And you're like, I want a Pacific Rim movie. It's like, what?
Dude, Charlie Hunnam is the monster.
Charlie Hunnam is in Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I can't believe...
I
can't believe your answer for monster we want. I can't believe your...
Now you're
I can't hear you guys, by the way.
Oh,
You could hear me.
yeah, we can hear...
Fix your shit, dog.
Michael, I can't believe his argument was like...
That was, yes.
Was
that
like
was a
Pacific Rim.
Okay. So, now we have to go to a tiebreaker.
Okay, what's the fight?
There's I actually have 3 fights.
Three fights?
Quick fights.
Wait, I can't hear you guys.
Hold on.
Hold on, Anthony can't hear,
quick
so this
fights,
just got interesting.
You're only gonna have like a few seconds to fight each. Just so I feel like it's more fair than just having one fight.
Alright, I can't hear you guys all the time, so if I don't answer, it's because I didn't hear.
Okay.
Just hang up and call back.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, Michael, feel free to tell me what the fights are right now.
Can you hear us now?
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear us? We're sorry about the technical difficulties.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear us?
I'll take that as a no.
Hello?
Anyway, start, Michael. Just put the fights in the chat, and I'll go first.
Alright, I can hear you guys.
Okay.
You can hear us?
Good.
Okay.
We apologize for that.
3 fights for the tiebreaker, Anthony. Just because I feel like one fight, it's more fair this way.
Yep.
You're going to have really quick, like, super quick.
It's not like who answers first. It's like who gives best answer, right?
Who gives best answer and argues best within, like under a minute to argue, like few sentences. Okay. First question. You're stranded on an island. You can only have one movie. What is it? Whoever wants to go.
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction.
That's not fair. You picked the judge's favorite movie.
Well, he's gonna have to argue for it. What's your movie, Stoops?
The Dark Knight.
The Dark Knight. Okay, argue for your movies. Or Anthony, argue first, I guess, since he said it first.
Pulp Fiction is an amazing movie. I believe it's Quentin Tarantino's best movie. It's got an amazing cast. It's fun. It's crazy. It's the most incredible movie ever made. And I think that it would be the one that you would never get tired of.
Basically, what you just said is, it's really good. You want the Dark Knight because it's one of the most intriguing movies you will ever see. If you're stranded on an island, you take the time, you can watch the movie over and over again, analyzing the characters, analyzing the motivations. Why exactly is the Joker doing this? Why is Batman so persistent? Why won't he give up? These characters, they mesh so well.
I didn't hear any of that argument.
It's okay. Don't worry.
It's just amazing. It gives the best performances. You say a great cast, not a single performance in that movie matches up to Heath Ledger's performance in The Dark Knight. You will never get bored of it. It's a movie that you can analyze the characters in, and you look at them and you're like, wow, that person is extremely interesting, and I really wonder what's going on. This is a film that you can watch for days.
Okay. The winner, Stupendous won that battle because he argued for it. Much better.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of that argument.
Okay, we have 2 more fights. Don't worry, you didn't win the entire thing yet. The next fight. Who?
I can hear you now.
Can you hear it? Or you can hear us?
I don't know if I can hear Stoops. I can hear you.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay. Fight numero dos. Number 2. Who is the best director?
Quentin Tarantino.
Christopher Nolan.
You guys completely just switched places. Okay. Why is Quentin Tarantino a better director?
He delivers the most entertaining movies you will ever see. He knows how to tell the people what to say. He says, you do this, you do that. They're shot brilliantly. Every frame is entertaining. With Nolan, you got kind of like that, a little bit of dark tone. It can be uninteresting at times. I think he's a good director. But with Tarantino, every frame is interesting. He makes the characters completely interesting. The dialogue is top notch. The man is the master.
I would say with Christopher Nolan always tackles huge concepts. He recently made Interstellar, which is an amazing movie. I like it. I know some people don't like it that much, but I love Interstellar. It tackles huge concepts like what do we do when our planet is dying? Where do we go? How do we solve our problems? He made the Dark Knight trilogy, and the Dark Knight trilogy is incredible. The worst movie he's ever made is The Dark Knight Rises, and The Dark Knight Rises is still pretty good. He's made Memento. He's made Prestige. He's made Inception, another huge concept movie. He is a brilliant director who has an amazing ambition, and I think that that's worth saying he's the best director.
I would like to point out Tarantino is super, super courageous, and you talk about biggest concept. There is nothing bigger than slavery. It is extremely taboo, and who did it? Tarantino himself. Nothing Nolan has done so far has been so controversial, so amazing. And you talk about, oh yeah, he's had some great films. No films are going to entertain you as much as Tarantino's films. Kill Bill 1.
Not even The Dark Knight.
Kill Bill 2. Be quiet, Anthony. Kill Bill 1. Kill Bill 2. Django Unchained. Reservoir Dogs. The man has been a master since he walked on screen. Not a single boring frame. Not a single boring frame.
And also, I'd like to point out that I believe when your planet dies and you explore different planets and try to figure out how to save humanity is a little bit bigger of a concept than slavery.
Slavery? Are you kidding me? Slavery, real life, actually happened. Actually happened. Having a slave come in
you know
and be this bounty hunter and face such and slavery did happen. Really happened.
Okay, I have enough.
I love Quentin Tarantino, though.
Yeah, see, you just said it. You just said it, Michael.
And your favorite movie ever is directed by Christopher Nolan.
It's irrelevant. That's opinions. We gave facts.
I mean, it was kind of all opinions, but
Come on.
I'm gonna have to give it to Quentin Tarantino.
Yes, I won!
Because he's never made a bad movie. He won an Oscar for Best Director for Pulp Fiction, I think. And
No, he didn't. Or did he? Actually, I'm not sure.
pretty sure he did. I'll look it up right now. So yeah, Stupendous Wave has won the first ever episode of Rec Squad Battle Podcast.
Alright, Stupendous.
So, as the rules are stated, the loser has to tweet something written by the winner.
I am
Oh,
already on my Twitter.
I would like you
I
to
am
tweet
ready to
out.
type.
In my opinion, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was the best movie of 2014.
No. Never do that. I can't. Oh no. That's the worst.
and I'm gonna retweet it.
Yeah, we'll link the tweet in the description of the video, along with all our Twitters.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best movie 20.
Jeez, this was a good battle, especially at the end. You guys completely traded places.
I know.
I was not expecting that.
He said Quentin Tarantino first, so I jumped to Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Really? I feel like Steven Spielberg.
Oh shoot, that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
You could have won with that one. It's a good thing that you won.
I'm changing my answer to Steven Spielberg.
I didn't have a third battle. So the third battle would have been who was cooler, King Ghidorah or Mecha King Ghidorah? Because there is a Mecha King Ghidorah.
Yeah, there
and
is.
He is badass.
Oh, let's see it. In my opinion, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the best movie of 2014. At and Thanos.
Really, Anthony? Better than Birdman?
Yes, it was better than Birdman.
I didn't even ask you to put the exclamation marks. You just did it yourself.
Those were out of rage.
Okay. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you guys on social media?
Well,
You can find me on Twitter raving about how amazing The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is.
and you can find me...
Underscore and Thanos.
Yep. Underscore and Thanos. And you can find me here or at my main channel where you probably came here from. So thank you guys for doing that. Please leave a like if you're interested in this. I know it got heated at some points. But anyway, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at Stupendous Wave. If you want to be in a podcast or a fight like this, leave in the comments. Not follow me on Skype. Message me on Skype. Send me a contact request, and we'll try and get you in one of these.
Okay.
So.
And I have been your host, Michael. You can find me on Twitter at CatSkinner. All our Twitters will be in the description. If you want to see certain people on the next fight, or you want to be on it, leave a comment. Comment what fights you want to see. We might have different fighters next time. I don't know. Subscribe, like, comment, tell your friends. We're awesome. Watch our video. Watch it like 7 times if you want. Doesn't matter.
Free country.
Next time, Steve.
This has been the Rec Squad Battle Podcast. Thanks for watching.
And the longest outro of all time. See you guys later.